Welcome learners of BA Honours Part 3, Paper 7. Today's topic is a poem called Indian Women by Shiv K. Kumar. Shiv K. Kumar was born on 16th August 1921 in Lahore, Punjab. He was a gifted English poet, playwright, novelist, and short story writer. He was a professor of English at the University of Hyderabad, visiting professor in a number of universities including Cambridge and Yale. He was widely traveled and published several books. Notable among them are Articulate Silences, written in the year 1972, Cobwebs in the Sun, 1974, The Last Wedding Anniversary, 1975, and a play, Subterfuges, in the year 1976. A remarkable and welcome feature of his work is an all pervasive ironic humor. Cultural interaction is one of the recurrent themes in his works. He is a true poet whose poetry is an expression of powerful feelings, of pains, agonies, and hope. He said that a poem comes to me as a phrase, a line, or a nebulous image that then gets crystallized into a cluster of words. An idea never starts its off. I seem to have an innate distrust of statements. I believe that a poem achieves its most effective articulation when it emerges from the intensity of writer's lived experience. So he always stressed on a poet's lived experience. He greatly admired the works of Robert Lowell, Sylvia Plath, and Anne Sexton. According to him, ultimately each poet has to work out his own credo of life and imagination. Quote, we perish each alone. Unquote. The poem Indian Women has been taken from the anthology Cobwebs in the Sun. It captures the plight of Indian women passively waiting in expectation in a male dominated society. Vivid images which are indigenous have been used in the poem. I'll be reading the poem loudly. In this triple baked continent, women don't etch angry eyebrows on mud walls. Patiently they sit like empty pitchers on the mouth of the village well, pleating hope in each braid of their Mississippi long hair, looking deep into the water's mirror for the moisture in their eyes. With zodiac doodlings on the sands, they guard their tattooed thighs, waiting for their men's return, till even the shadows roll up their contours and are gone beyond the hills. So, this poem deeply captures the plight of Indian women, passively waiting in a male dominated society. Family is the crux of the center around which a woman's life moves. Shivki Kumar had gone to America and he happened to know about the wives of the American soldiers fighting a battle in Vietnam. Now, how these women are unable to keep the sanctity of marriage intact and how they disintegrate in the absence of their partners. Indian women come to his mind as a contrast. Essentially, he is concerned with Indianness, and in this poem, we come to terms with tradition and culture and the infinite patience of the Indian woman awaiting the return of the men. The women don't seem to be angry, even though they may have been present in the triple baked continent, patiently waiting. The continent refers to the Indian subcontinent with a long history of political and historical upheavals and the deeply patriarchal society structure where the women are the most oppressed lot. The heat of the sun, sex, and poverty are the three pronged disaster which the women have to bear within a typical rural society, or for that matter, in any society. They're not allowed to express their anger. Constant denial has hardened them, and they are unable to give in to emotions. The poet compares these women to the pitchers, and pitchers which are empty, which are vacant, devoid of any kind of feelings, to wait near the mouth of the well, which is full of water, with empty pitchers, denotes their wretchedness, their sense of despair. Their desperation has come to a point from where there is no return. Even here, they are in unison, pleating their long plaits. They make strands of the hair and make a plait out of it, with a desire and hope for future, into the deep, watery mirror of the well. Looking at the reflection, they see moisture in their dry eyes. The women never look straight into the eye, for they are not equal. So, with eyes grounded, they make use of their toes, they are doodling them to make zodiac signs on the sands. Here, probably the word sand also has the connotations of a wasteland. When your emotions don't grow, it is almost like a wasteland. They are the property of their partners, which is denoted by the tattooed thighs. Women are perceived as a commodity. The women are waiting for their men to return, and with the coming of darkness, another day would come to an end, and another beginning would usher in. But their condition would remain the same. Thank you.